It's time for a new evolution in raising golfers, one that doesn't involve headaches, tears, or heading down the path of unknown. Whether you're trying to introduce children to the game of golf, help them play competitively, or play at a collegiate level, you're in the right place. This show is for any parent, player, or coach who wants to build a better team at home and on the golf course. This is the Raising Golfers Podcast. Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great week. It's certainly starting to get a little bit cold here in the northern hemisphere of the world, but that shouldn't be any excuse for us to stop practicing and playing golf, should it? And especially after hearing today's story, I think you're going to completely change your mindset about your practice and your look at the game of golf. Golf is a game of privilege, but that shouldn't stop anyone from trying to take up the game. Today's guest, Shreyas Yadav, is from a very rural village in India.
People used to comment on me that, oh, young boy, you are wasting your time here. You should study more and search for a job. Why are you playing this sport? This sport has no future in India. You will be crying after 5-6 years because there is no opportunity in this. So I used to say that no, I just like this game and I just want to practice. Once again, started practicing with a higher amount of positive spirit or positive thoughts in my mind.
The closest golf facility to his house is 30 miles away, and to get there on foot would be something you just don't do on a daily basis. He was introduced to the game of golf from his dad at age 16, and since then he practices twice a day by walking over a mile each way to hit golf balls in an animal grazing field. He has groomed his game based on passion, drive, and a positive mindset, and even wrote a book to help people stay positive in life. Today he shares his story of overcoming hurdles and turning what most would see as negatives into positives. I know I'm looking forward to this conversation, and I know that you're really going to enjoy hearing his story. All right, Shreyas, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Travis. It's nice to be here.
Yes, I'm excited for this conversation today, and it's because I think you have a very interesting story in the game of golf. So if you could start by just sharing with me where it is that you are from and describe in detail what golf is like in India as well.
So basically, Travis, I'm from India and I live in a village named Telikhera, which is situated in the central part of the India. Basically,
Okay.
the conditions of weather, if we talk about, is mostly moderate climate is here. In July and August, there is a bit of high amount of rainfall. Otherwise, the temperature is normal. And I don't have any golf course basically to practice, so I practice a nearby grazing field where cattle, grazes. So it's a very big ground in area and basically very barren kind of field, no such big grasses or all. So I practice there, and the village where I lives is around 1500 people lives in this village, and most of them are basically workers of class C and class D. And this is a pretty good village with lot of natural beauty, but along with this there is lot of development is required in this area.
Wow, so it sounds like where you're from it's actually quite a small village in India
Yeah.
in perspective,
Yes.
right? And so the terrain is quite flat where you live?
Yeah. It's basically very flat terrain and not so much, ups and downs. Pretty plain area.
I'm very curious, and I'm sure some of the listeners are as well,
hmm
is I know that people do play golf in India, but what is the sport like in India currently?
the Look, if we talk about golf, so golf is developing in a pretty nice manner. It's developing day to day, mostly in the developed cities of the country, like the metro cities we can call them, which are very much developed and have a very high standard of living. In those regions, the golf is developing at a very higher pace. Whereas if we talk about the interior part of India, the game is still not in touch to lot of people. So in interior part of India, the game is still not much accessible and
Mm.
popular among the people. But in I would say developed cities, the game is very much popular and is growing in a very fast rate.
I mean, for the game of golf, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
And so, coming from your story, so you're from a village that is in central India. It's a
Yes.
very small village. There's
Yes.
no access to golf courses.
Yeah.
Who introduced the game of golf to you?
Actually, my dad used to play golf during his younger days. He used to play, and he used to play with Mizuno MP33 irons.
Oh,
Then,
wow.
yeah, then he got a job, so he stopped playing. And I was around 16 years old when he introduced me towards this game. So he taught me the basic techniques like gripping the club and uh, some pitching, chipping, all these shots he taught.
When did he get introduced to the game of golf? How long
Uh,
ago did he start playing golf?
there was a golf course near this village. It was, I would say, established by the Britishers. And in that golf course, he used to work as a caddy, and from there he started playing golf, and he played on some nice tournaments.
Oh, wow.
Then then due to some financial issues and all, he left this game and pursued a job. So this was his journey towards golf.
And how long ago was that?
It was around, I would say, when 1983 or 85.
Oh, wow. So he was familiar with the game of golf very early on in the
Yeah.
development of golf in India.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's very interesting. Okay. And you started playing golf when you were 16 years old.
Yeah. When I was 16 years old, then at that time I started practicing.
Did you find it interesting at the start?
Basically I am an introvert, so and this is a individual sport. So I felt very I would say this game felt very interesting to me, and basically we have to spend time alone only in this grazing field. So I really like this game, and especially when we have to focus on a particular target to hit the shots on that particular target only. So I really like this game in first attempt only.
When your dad started introducing the game to you, how long did it take for you to start to feel like you were improving or actually getting good at the game of golf? Because golf is not an easy sport.
Yeah, true. So it took me around 1.5 years or 1 year to you know get a better swing. Till 1 year I have no idea how to hit good shots and all. Till 1 year I was just building my rhythm, and gradually my swing started to develop after 1 year or so.
And was your dad helping you along the way for that whole first year of golf?
Not much. Whenever he gets time he used to, but not
Okay.
regularly, I would say.
So you were just practicing by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're from a village that doesn't have access to a golf course now,
Mm-hmm.
where were you practicing?
I am practicing right now in the I would say around 1.5 kilometers away, that grazing field only.
So you're only going to a grazing field to
Yes,
practice.
yes, only that grazing field every morning and every evening, and sometimes afternoon too.
And how do you get there?
I get there by walking.
So you walk 1.5 kilometers to a field that does,
Yeah.
it's not even a golf facility, it's just a field. Does it have grass in it?
See, the condition of grass is good during rainfall, as the land gets moisturized and the grass started to come. Till November, the grass is there. After November, the grass started to degrade again, and gradually, when New Year arrives or when January arrives, the ground completely doesn't have any kind of grass, so it becomes barren.
Can you still practice during that time?
Yeah, I practice in barren field also whenever there is no grass, and mostly in a year we get grass for 2 months or 3 months only. 9 months I have to practice without grass.
Wow, that's amazing. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it on a positive note, it probably teaches you how to strike the golf ball better because
Yeah.
when you're playing on that type of terrain,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to make good contact with the golf ball is more difficult. So it probably really teaches you to improve the ball striking.
Yeah, it definitely. And I played on few golf courses, so there I felt very easy to hit the shots from rough and from fairways because I do practice in this tough lies. So this teaches me how to hit the ball from the bad lies also.
Right. Well, geez, if you hit the fairway, you must feel really happy about that.
Yeah, I really love whenever I go to any golf course. Last time I played in a golf course last year. So when I went there, I saw the greens and fairways. I felt pretty good that wow, so much greenery out there, and it just make me feel great. Golf course is
Right.
like very precious gem to me.
Right. No, I can imagine that. And when you're practicing, so you hit the balls into the barren field. Do you go pick up the balls after, or what do you do?
See, I have around 50 balls and I hit 50 balls. Then I go and pick the balls. Then I have to sometimes search the ball also if the ball goes into any kind of bush or
Right.
any hole. So I have to search for that ball and then I comes back again. Again I hit. So in this process I hits around 10 times, 50 balls 10 times a particular day.
You just mentioned that the last time you played golf was last year. What
Yeah.
was that experience like?
It felt great. Uh, you know, uh, whenever I stand on the tee, so basically people say that try to shape the ball from this tree so it will come into the fairway, or try to target that line so that the ball will be in the fairway. It's easier for you. So what I used to do is I just target the center of the fairway, and I just hit the ball with an easy swing, and my ball easily reaches into the center of the fairway, and the people who were telling me the lines, they says, wow, you just didn't curve the ball or anything like that. You just hit a straight shot. It's very easy for you. So I felt that I practice in a area which is very much open. So basically I try to hit my shot as much as straight as I can. So it helped me while playing on
That's
the
no,
golf
that's very
course.
interesting. But if you're practicing in an open field, how do you know how far you're hitting the golf ball with different clubs so that when you get the actual chance to go on the golf course, you know which club to select and how to control the distance?
See, what I do is I basically count the yardages with my feet. So I put the target on a particular distance, which I calculate with my feet. And basically, that distance and the distance in the golf course nearly matches, but not accurate. Nearly, approximately, it's equal.
Okay, so that's I guess that's that's would be what they did a long time ago and actually before we had
Hmm.
rangefinders and other ways to measure distances. And I guess you'd be surprised how accurate that actually could be, huh?
Yeah, not my. I would say sometimes that distance is perfectly accurate, and sometimes there is a little bit, uh, the difference between
Right.
both the distances.
So in golf, short game's extremely important.
Hmm.
How are you practicing your short game?
See, my short game is not that much good because I don't have any access to greens and all. So basically, I used to practice my putting on the floor of my house, and regarding chipping and pitching, so I do it in that grazing field only.
Right. Okay, so that's very interesting.
Yeah.
In the field, are you able to simulate some kind of sand or bunker shot because you're hitting off a lot of dirt? Can you make the dirt soft and actually try to practice those types of shots in the field?
No, that's not possible because the dirt consists small pebbles and some kind of hard material, which makes it little harder, and it also damages the club surface too.
So, do you have a lot of golf clubs? If the clubs get damaged, can you replace them easily?
No, I see when I started playing golf that time I had Mizuno MP33 and pitching wedge, 9 iron, 8 iron were broken. after 2 years.
Oh no.
Then in 2018, I guess, one of my friends have supported me with a new set of irons. So with those irons, I am still practicing, and I am glad that till now no club is broken of those new irons.
That's
So
great.
yeah, yeah, but scratches are there on the club surface. Lot of deep scratches are there, but till now no club is broken since 2018.
With your situation,
Hmm.
have you considered moving temporarily to a place that's closer to a golf facility, or maybe doing something like what your dad did, which was caddy for a golf facility?
See, basically, a nearby golf course is around, I would say, 30 kilometers away, and that's a par 3 golf course. And the members are not so much there that as a caddy we can do lot of income and can support our livelihood. And if we try to move to a new destination or to a new big city, so the expenses will be pretty much higher. And when the expenses are pretty much higher, so they they sometimes makes the mind little, tensed, or may divert the mind from golf to other sources of income so that we can bear that expenses. So it's tough for me to move to a new place or a new city right now and on my own to, pursue this thing into a golf course, as the green fees is also very high.
How much does it cost to play golf in India? And if you could maybe convert it to something like dollars or pounds, maybe.
Yeah. See, in the course, the par 3 course, which is around 30 kilometers away from my home, the green fees is around $10.
Okay.
And when we look at the metro cities golf course, the green fees sometimes exist around $100 or $90.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very expensive.
See, the green fees is expensive, but they provide the service that is also very good. The golf course condition is awesome. I would say in the developed cities, the golf courses are very good.
Going back to your practice,
Mhm.
how else have you learned the game of golf? Do you have a golf coach, or did you just carry on from what your dad taught you and self teach yourself?
See, when he taught me or when he introduced me towards this game, so then I started watching golf tournaments too on TV, like the Masters, US Open, the Open Championship, BMW. A lot of I used to watch every week, every single tournament on TV. There I picked three or four players: Rory McIlroy and Vijay Singh, Tiger Woods, and Tom Watson. So basically, and yes, and Luke Donald. So these five players I picked, and I try to copy their swing. I try to visualize their swings in my mind, and I try to swing like them during my practice session. So gradually, with visualizing their swing and techniques from the tournaments on TV, my swing started to, develop in a pretty good way. And whenever I used to go to the practice area, so I still feels as if I am Roy McIlroy, or I am Vijay Singh, or I am Tiger Woods, or I am Tom Watson, and I'm practicing for the Masters, I'm practicing for the Open Championship, I'm practicing for BMW or US Open, and I'm on the range of the golf course, and now I have to swing the way I was swinging on TV. So in that way, I developed my swing.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you read any golf books or magazines or golf tips or anything that also helps develop your swing to where it is today?
I had a magazine. I don't know when I read it. I guess when I was learning this game, that time I read that magazine.
It's just been watching golf on TV and you've just tried to
Yeah.
simulate those five guys' golf swings. That's pretty much it.
Yes.
So, when you're practicing, do you spend most of your time on the full swing, or do you also try to work on distances with 100 yards or less than 100 yards to control some of the wedge game and some of those important areas as well?
See, whenever I goes to practice, so I start with pitching, then I start to hit 80-yard shots, then I start to hit 100, 120, then full shot of pitching wedge, then half shot of 9 iron, then full shot of 9 iron, then half shot of 8 iron, then full shot of 8 iron. So in this way, I hit every club's half shot, three quarter, then full shot. So distance control practice is there.
And do you go all the way up to the driver as well?
Yeah, yeah. I love to hit my driver, and basically, I enjoy hitting it straight most of the time. Sometimes the shot, miss hit can cause little bit of fade or draw, but mostly I hit it straight.
Straight. Okay, so you don't try to have a ball flight like a draw or a fade.
Yeah, see, I don't practice shot shaping much right now because there is issues in some kind of techniques for which I am still searching. I'm not good at shot shaping completely right now.
Okay, and can you flight the ball? Can you
Yeah,
hit the ball high and low?
yeah. Easily I can do that.
Wow, that's amazing. So, what is your plan to be able to practice more at a golf facility and be able to play on a golf course more often?
See, my plan is to play at a golf facility or a golf course is basically if any kind of assistance I can get so I can practice more and I can focus more on my short game. I can try my best to develop my short game also in a pretty good way, and also I can develop my game in a much greater way if I get the amount of resources.
Right. So, how are you going to be able to get to a golf facility and play more golf? What do you have to do?
There are two options for me right now. Number one option is that from this grazing field only I can qualify as a professional in a qualifying school tournament,
Okay.
and from there I can start earning money by playing professional tournaments, and then I can spend or invest that amount of money on golf facilities. And the second option is that I have to find any other source of income from where I can earn money without disturbing my golf routine, and then I can use that into the form of playing into a golf course or getting access to golf facility. Or the third option, which is not in my control, that is the option of any kind of assistance or support from outside, which can make me accessible enough to get the facility of golf course or something like that. Maybe I can leave this place.
Geez, I certainly believe in you and I think you can do it. Obviously, it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of effort to get
Yeah,
there. That's for sure.
yeah, a lot of hard work is required.
What are you currently shooting for 18 holes when you do get the opportunity to play on the golf course?
See, my rounds mostly comes under 80s,
Wow.
and
Under 80.
yeah, under 80.
Wow.
And basically, whenever I goes to a golf course, so my main target is to hit the fairway and hit the ball from fairway as close as possible to the pin. So
Right.
basically, I attacks the pin most of the time and try to spin my ball as much as possible towards the pin only. So my score comes under 80 most of the time, and my worst score is around I would say 89 or 88, something like that. That was my worst score.
What's your best score?
My best score was -1, which I played in a nearby golf course. I would say it was in another state.
Wow. So, -1. I mean, that's
Yeah,
incredible that you're able to do that with your conditions with practice and
sure.
limitations for, not even be able to play golf that often.
And in that -1 score, I defeated a professional. It was a very close game between both of us. And on the 17th hole, I made a birdie, and 18th I parred. And he finished level par. I finished -1 in that.
Wow. That's a great story. I love that. That's absolutely amazing. That's great.
Yeah, I will share the scorecard with you of that match.
Perfect. Yeah, and I'll put that in the show notes for sure. That's great. I love that. That's great. What you've done with the game of golf is you've stripped it back to its simplest level, which is basically you have a golf ball and you need to get from A
Mm,
to B, and that's pretty much it. And you've done that to be able to simplify your thoughts and enable you to be able to score well in the game of golf when you're not even able to have access to a golf course or facility that often throughout the year. So well
yeah.
done there. And I think a lot of people can take a lot away from just how simple the mindset is to once you get on the golf course and how that's helped you
Mhm.
have success and be able to lower your scores. So well done, Shreyas. That's great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's awesome. You sound like a very positive guy, but I can imagine not having access to the golf course is very frustrating. And
Hmm.
I'm sure there's times where you have times of highs and you have times of lows where you're just thinking
Yeah.
about, geez, I wish I was at the golf course. I wish I had
Yeah.
access. I'd like to be there every day.
Yeah.
How do you control your emotions and how do you stay positive through this journey?
See, when I was 17 years old, so I used to think about this that, oh man, I have nothing. I don't have any golf course. I don't have good clubs to practice. Am I wasting my time here in smashing these golf balls? So I started to get into depression, but I then started meditation techniques, and gradually my inner thoughts started to come in my mind that no, whether I have golf course or not, whether I have accessibility to resources or not, it's my work to do my best here in this grazing field. I just have to make myself hit good shots here. Whatever God has planned for me, it will happen. So then I once again started practicing with a higher amount of positive spirit or positive thoughts in my mind. And then people used to comment on me that, oh, young boy, you are wasting your time here. You should study more and search for a job. Why are you playing this sport? This sport has no future in India. You will be crying after 5 6 years because there is no opportunity in this. So I used to say that no, I just like this game and I just want to practice and play well. I want to play in great golf courses and win tournaments. So then I made a thought in my mind that whatever thing I am having right now, it's good for me, and I have to utilize this empty space to make myself hit good shots and make a pretty good swing, which can help me play better whenever I will play into a golf course. At least I will not shoot over 100, at least I will not hit shanks or hooks, at least my shot will be in place. Whatever happens on green, I don't care. My responsibility is to do my practice with full dedication in this grazing field. And if I do practice with my full dedication, definitely this practice will give me advantage in the golf course in the form of good shots. Whatever will happen on the green, that's not my fault because I can't do anything if I do 5 putts or 6 putts on green because that's not in my control because I don't have any kind of practice for it. But whatever things I practiced, I am confident that this thing will never let me down.
Right. That's amazing.
So in this way, I turned these limited resources into a kind of golf course only for me. This is a imaginary golf course for me. Whenever I go to practice, I never think nowadays that this is a barren land. I feels as if this is a golf course of any Gulf country where there are not much water, but the space is good. The winds are blowing nicely, and it's a good environment. And I'm preparing for a big tournament in upcoming future.
I think that's absolutely amazing that you were able to turn a negative into a positive. And
Hmm.
to be able to change your mindset into that positive probably actually helped your golf performance as well. Was that right?
Yeah, it helps in performing. in a better way whenever I place in a golf course. So whenever there is a narrow kind of fairway, I never look at the tough or the, I would say, difficulties. I never look towards the high trees or water hazard or out of bounds. I just look at the fairway and I just tells myself that I just have to knock the ball into the fairway. That's my first objective.
That's great. And are your parents supportive of this journey?
Yeah, they are supportive, but they also says that pay attention to education also so that I can get a job. If in future I am not success, I would say if in future I will not get successful in golf, then I must have a job to, live a good life. So they focus on education also very much,
No, that's good.
so that I have two options. If in golf I will not be successful, so I can get success in the field of job or work.
And what are you studying right now?
I am studying economics and computer application. In economics, I made a new concept. I would say I developed a new concept which can help lower income group people of our nation and of other countries also.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, my professors says that it's a nice I would say concept which can be implemented easily on people, and it will also help them to keep themselves happy while working, as it promotes the income through hobbies and the things people likes.
That's great. Getting back to your story about going from a negative to a
Mm-hmm.
positive, I know you also
Mm-hmm.
wrote a book as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the book and where did the idea come from?
I published a book named Triangle of Life. See, last year I gave three podcasts on mental health. There was a person who was in depression. I cured his depression. He started feeling very good. His life started to change. So he suggested me that, your thoughts are so good and it helped me very much. Why don't you write them down together and then we can publish a book? So that time I didn't pay attention because writing is not my cup of tea and I never read a novel or anything like that. Then he invited me to few mental health podcasts where I shared my philosophies, my ideas. So people from all over the world watched it, and they liked my thoughts, my ideas. So then I got this thought that, wow, this person was correct, I should write a book. So during the lockdown, the period of lockdown, I was completely free as I cannot go to practice also. So then I thought that I should utilize this time in writing down my thoughts and my positive ideas, and let's publish a book. So within 1 month, I wrote everything down, and then on Amazon, my book is published now, and people are loving that book. And I'm happy that in a certain way, I can share my positivity with others, and probably it can help someone who is lost in life or who is experiencing any kind of negativity in life. That book may help anyone who is having negatives in his life right now.
Wow, it's crazy that you were able to do that and be able to put together a book. And, your major isn't even in psychology or mental health, it's completely different.
Yeah, yeah.
Could you share some part of the book with us as far as like maybe a story that's in the book or something that you would say really helped you have a more positive mindset that you shared in the book with other people?
I would like to share a few analogies with you or examples which I used in my book. So the first one is related to golf only. That this life is like a like a game of golf, because when we stand or when we play in a golf course, we see that there are a lot of 18 holes are there. Similarly, in life we have 18 different kind of challenges. It could be in the form of emotion, it could be in the form of physical, it could be in the form of financial, it could be in the form of social. So if we have 18 challenges in golf course, we have similar kind of challenges in our lives also. So whenever we have to play a particular hole in a golf course, we have to plan that I will hit this club from this place, then I will reach closer to the green, and then I can target the pin and I can, achieve my target. Similarly, in life also, we have to plan how we have to move towards our aim and how we have to overcome the difficulties which are coming in our way. In golf course, we have a set of 14 clubs. Here we have a set of principles and values which we can use to accomplish our aim and to remove the difficulties of our way and can easily achieve our goal.
Wow. So that's a great analogy there from, that helps people that have issues with just general mental health issues, but
Yeah.
also bring it back to the game of golf. Part of the mental game for golf
Mhm.
is obviously is a very important part of the game of golf. But people who struggle with the mental side of golf, that analogy could also help them as well.
Yeah, true. And another analogy I can share with you is there are two kind of people in this world. First one are like the helicopters and the second ones are like an aeroplane. So if we talk about the ones who are like helicopters, they are mostly the ones who only thinks about themselves or the progress or development of their own life or their family's life or their friends only. So their thinking is limited to the success of themselves or the people closer to them. As a result, with this type of thinking, they are not able to achieve much higher goals, but can achieve small goals just similar to a helicopter, which flies into air but can't go much higher and cannot cover much distance as compared to an aeroplane. Whereas the second type of people are the ones who are ready to take everyone who joins them towards their goal, and their goal is not self related to self or family or friend centered. Their goal is society centered, and it's a goal in which they help all others along with them to achieve a, a kind of goal which can help the whole society and which can help others also in getting success. So, such people can have a longer lasting success than the ones who are like helicopter. Now, the reason I thought second type of people are like an aeroplane because they thinks about lot of other people, takes them towards success just like an aeroplane, which takes hundreds of people into a very high in the air and covers a long successful journey. An aeroplane requires a long runway, and after running on it, it flies into the air and moves at a much higher speed towards the destination. Similarly, the ones who have a mindset of carrying large number of people towards a particular goal, a goal of humanity, so they have to struggle initially, but when they are in the sky, nobody can stop them, and they can easily accomplish the aim or achieve the goal along with changing the lives of other people also who are moving with them, who are in the, I would say, participation towards their aims or goals.
I love that. I think that was a great analogy. I mean, I'm an airplane buff anyways, so I really enjoy anything that's related to airplanes, but that analogy and how it relates to life was so good. I mean, how did you even come up with that? Did you come up with this while you were meditating or hitting
Yeah.
golf balls on the field? I mean, how did you even come up with these thoughts and ideas?
See, while meditating also, I get these thoughts, and sometimes whenever I comes back home from college, so I mostly go to college by walking only. It's 4 kilometers, so I get pretty much time to think, and sometimes I get these thoughts while coming back to home from college. So whenever I'm free, I think about these different things which are present around me, and then I correlate them with golf or with life, and I just write it down.
I love that.
Along with this, my book deals with three elements of positivity. That's why I call this a life triangle or triangle of life. The three main elements of positivity here I highlighted are: number one is humanity, are positive work or positive karmas, and the third element I included here is, I would say, our positive thinking. Now, how we can activate these these three elements to create our triangle of life, which can make us live a meaningful life and a I would say a successful life, is by working on few things which I mentioned in the book. If we practice those things, or if we start to learn things from the creatures present around, from a small insect to a large aeroplane, from a sport of golf to a sport of football, every single thing which is present around us teaches us something. It's our vision which can take any meaningful thing from the things present around us. So there are different things I mentioned here in this book which can teach us how to build and activate our triangle of life.
That's great. And if people listening wanted to find out more about your book or purchase your book, where could they do that?
See, I made few cover changes on my book right now. So near about 1 or 2 weeks, those changes will be uh, completed. So after 2 weeks, the book will be available on Amazon for purchase again. It's available on Amazon right now, but it's under review now as I made few changes of the book's cover. When the changes get finalized, the book will be available once again for purchasing.
Perfect. I'll share that in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
And if people want to follow your journey and just see what you're doing with your golf game,
Uh-huh.
what would be the best place on social media that they could follow you?
So they can follow me on my Instagram account. That's Shreyas underscore golf. There they can follow me.
Perfect. So, what are your ultimate goals and dreams in the game of golf?
See, my first goal is to qualify in the professional circuit. Then from there, my aim is to reach to the European Tour and win some prestigious events there, like the Abu Dhabi or DP Tour Championship or BMW Championship, Open de France. From there, I want to win majors, especially Masters and the Open Championship. They two are my favorites. And along with this, I want to develop this game and make this accessible to all kind of people who are not as much as financially stronger. They can also access this game. I have few plans and policies for the development of this game also, which I can share after I finalize them, so that it can help a lot of people to play this game and enjoy every single moment of this beautiful game.
That's great. I love that. I think you have great goals, and I'm sure if you keep your mind to it and you keep working hard like you are, I'm sure you'll reach them. What would be some words of inspiration for aspiring golfers from rural locations similar to yours, where they may not have
Mhm.
access to practice facilities or be able to play golf on a regular basis?
See, I would just like to tell them that if you are interested in playing this beautiful sport, or want to make career in this, so just stick to it and consider this as your ultimate responsibility, or as a duty which you have to do with full dedication, full hard work, without getting affected yourself with whatever happening around you. Focus on the techniques or whatever whatever things you like to do in this game, and just make yourself so much mentally strong that those hazards or out of bounds or any kind of difficult holes cannot disturb the mind. If In golf, your mind is not disturbed. You can play a very good round, but when our mind gets disturbed, even if we have everything, we can end up at nothing. But if our mind is strong, even if we don't have anything, we can achieve something. So we have to keep our minds stronger and positive and try to, dedicate more and more ourselves with full honesty towards this game, and just uh, I would say, trusting on our techniques, and just keep playing well.
Shreyas, I love your story. I love the hard work that you put in and the mindset you have towards the game of golf.
Thank you.
I think you've already achieved so much just beyond the results of the game of golf and what you've been able to do and the hard work that you've been able to put in and the scores that even you've been able to produce with the limited amount of exposure of course play that you've had is just absolutely amazing.
Yes.
I wish you the best of luck. I know you'll keep working
Thank
hard.
you so much.
I look forward to following your journey and I hope that we can touch base again sometime in the future and hear what you are up to
Sure.
and what you're doing in the process of trying to reach all your goals.
Before concluding, can I thank few people
Of course.
who are helping me, and I would like to thank basically my friends who are supporting me in my golf game: Mark, Dave, Jeff, and Joy. These four people helping me very much in this game of golf. They are supporting very much. Thankful to them. I'm thankful to my teachers, Mr. K. Raman, Mr. Pramod Srivas, Mr. Taylor B, Mr. Nilesh Pandey. These are few teachers which are helping me in my education field also, and also sometimes their advices helps me very much in the game of golf too. Basically, I am thankful to all the people who are listening this podcast, because if they are if they feels good with this podcast, so I'm thankful to them also for listening this podcast, and I'm thankful to all the people who came in my life, who played a role in my progress. So thank you to everyone, and I'm thankful to God also, who is helping me in keeping myself positive in these circumstances.
That's awesome. Well said there. And thank you for coming on and sharing your story with all of us, myself, and the listeners of this podcast. And I'm sure that your story will inspire a lot of people and help a lot of people who might be in similar situations to yours get through and persevere and achieve the goals and continue to have a positive and happy life. So, Shreyas, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much, Travis. It was great talking with you related to golf. Thanks for inviting me here. Thank you so much.
Oh man, what a humbling story that was. I mean, just listening to what Shreyas has done has motivated me to want to work harder, make less excuses, and be very happy with what I already have. For him to be able to stay motivated and practice in an animal grazing field day in and day out, focused on his end goal, is something that is truly amazing to me. My big takeaways were to stay positive and make the best of what you have. If you live in a place that has snow, practice and play indoors. No golf course around? Practice and play in a park or in a field. Don't have a car to get somewhere? Ride a bike or walk. Do whatever you have to do to achieve your goals, and I'm confident you will take one step closer to reaching them. I really enjoyed today's conversation. I hope there's a lot that you took away from today, and I look forward to hearing the feedback that you have from today's episode. If you enjoy listening to our podcast and the information you got from this episode, do us a favor and continue to support us by hitting that subscribe button and giving us a 5-star review. Your continued support will help us continue to grow and be able to interview some of the most experienced parents, coaches, and players in the golf industry to help you continue to raise your golfer to their full potential.